Have you ever gone through some bad situations in life where you don't want to leave, you just want to give up everything? Have you ever in total distress? Hold on, if you are not, or if you will, please read this poem by John Milton. Sonnet 19. When I consider how my light is spent. Here I am covering Burdwan's major English syllabus, and I had already did maybe three or four poems, and I had already completed one essay by John Byron. So if you did not watch it, you can go to my playlist and watch it. Okay. So this sonnet is by John Milton, the greatest English poet who wrote Paradise Lost. So anybody who don't know anything, he know the title Paradise Lost, right? If anybody um, anywhere he know something about English literature, he know the name of Shakespeare and he know the name of John Milton. So here today I am going to read one of his best sonnet number 19, when I consider how my light is spent. So here also this line is taken from the very first line of the sonnet. As you know that I had already made some videos on sonnet, there you can see that the first line of the sonnet is taken as the title. So in some books you can see that there is mentioned sonnet 16 of this sonnet. Okay, so please note it down that when Milton wrote it, he gave it a number and he gave it number 19, but when they republished it, they gave it the number, they counted and they gave it the number sonnet 16. So both sonnet 16 and 19 is correct. Okay, now let's see about John Milton and let's know about his life. Here is the picture of John Milton. You can see that he has big long hair, right? He has long hair, and for this he is called Lady Christ. He is a scholarly person. He is so much studious. He is so much talented. He knew the language Spanish, Italian, and English he know, and maybe French. He knew it so well that he can translate it. He can read and write on it. Okay, so his father advised him that you don't have to work, you just have to read and write. So from his very childhood he has one aim or one goal, that he want to do something great, something big, and he did it in his life. So he is a believer of God, he is also a Puritan, and he is also a political person. So I'm not going to let's not go into this. So let's know more about him. So he was born in 1608 and died in 1674. Was an English poet, scholar, civil servant, and best known for his epic poem Paradise Lost, which explores theme of free will, Adam and Eve stories. Okay, so which explores free will, obedience, and nature of good and evil. Born in London, he was educated at Cambridge University, where he developed a strong foundation in classical literature, which heavily influenced his writing. Milton supported the Puritan cause during the English Civil War. English Civil War, you don't need to know now. So, and served as a Latin secretary under Oliver Cromwell's government. Despite going blind, so please note it down that despite going blind in 1652, because this poem is all about this cause, okay, this situation. So despite going blind, he continued writing, dictating much of his later work, including Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and Samson Agonis. For these three works, he was remembered, and he wrote it when he gone blind. When he gone blind, he wrote these famous works. So you can understand, right? His works reflect his deep commitment to religious and political ideas as well as his mastery of language and innovative poetic style. Milton's influence is vast and impacting subsequent generations of writers, and he is celebrated as one of the greatest poets. Second only to Shakespeare. So I had already said that if you know Shakespeare or if you know something about English, you will know the title Paradise Lost, right? So let's know more about this poem, the background of this poem. So why this poem or sonnet is so much important, is so much famous? Because he wrote it after going blind. Okay, when he was only 44. So please write this number on your page. Okay, so when he is only 44, mean mid of his age, when he is mid of his age, he lost his eyesight, because he was a studious person, he was a scholarly person, and he used to read at night, and that time there was no light, so he had to read under candles light. And doctor warned him that if he continue his writing, if he continue his reading, he will lose his eyesight. But he there is a keen interest, there is something in him that he want to do something great, and therefore he never stop reading and writing, and at the age of 44 he lose his eyesight. Before that he already wrote so many famous works like Lycidas, which was elegy which he wrote for his friend Camus, and so many famous writings. But after losing his eyesight, he wrote the great writings. Okay, now so let's see. And he is a Puritan, he is a believer of God, he always want to do something great, and he has a willpower, because when he was blind, he had three wives. So his third wife, two wives were already died, and his third wives, he she used to read for him, and she used to write for him. He is only he only speak because he had already read so many things, and so he had everything in his mind, and he only just speak, and his wife write. Okay, so not only this that he gone blind, this is the big issue, but he had also lost his two wives, he had also lost his son, he had only two daughters left. Okay, so he had lost his father-in-law, and so many members of his family, so there are lots of suffering in his life. Okay, now see, when I consider how my life is spent. So he said that when I sit and consider that how my light is spent. Here light is a metaphor. Okay, so here you can see that light is a metaphor of eyesight. When I consider, light is also a metaphor of knowledge, right? So he's saying that when I consider that how my light is spent, air sorry air half my days mean, I had already said that he lost his eyesight at the age of 44, mean he is now only the mid of his life, right? He is only the mid of his life, there are so many years he have to live. So air half my days in this dark world and white. Now his world become dark and white. So now he lost his eyesight, he lose his eyesight. Now his world become totally dark, right, and white. And that one talent which is dead to hide lodge with me useless. So here is a use of enchantment. Enchantment, you know that is a figure of speech when you not ending, when you are not ending your a sentence. So here you can see that, and that one talent which is dead to hide, this sentence is not ending, but it continue of the in the next line, lodge with me useless. So he said that it there he also giving talent, he also personifies it, and he also giving the biblical reference. In Bible it is said that God give you some talent and you have to contribute, you have to give back to the God. Okay, so here talent mean also the ability. Okay, here talent mean also the ability. He has only one ability. What? He can only read and write. So he had only one ability, and now he lost his eyesight. So how can he use his ability? How and can he use his talent? He have to hide it, he have to bear this lodge with me useless, mean now he cannot spend it, now he cannot create something with it, now he cannot use his ability, his talent. So he have to bear it, bear this talent with himself to the grave. He have to die with his talent, with useless, right? Though my soul more bent. So he said that now you can't think that he now lose his belief also to God. So he said that, but now though my soul is more bent now, more bent to God, I am not giving up. Hello, I am not giving up. My soul is more bent to God, to serve there with my Maker. Sorry, to serve there with my Maker. Maker mean, Maker mean God, right? Here he addressed God as Maker. So to serve there with my Maker, and present my true account, lest he returning child. So he said that I want to give him a true account, to present my true account, lest he returning child, returning child, thought God exact day labor light denied. So he said that if my, everybody said that you have a aim, God have something to do with you, God have a plan for you, right? Everybody said that God have a plan for you. So he said that if God have a plan for me, and if the plan is to do something great, if the plan is with something to do something great, right, like writing or reading, if I have only one talent, if God have a plan, then so this plan can be with the eyesight. So he is now become impatient, right? So he said that, so if I am now blind, and now what God have the plan, what God have for me, can I okay with it, can God okay with it, can this great thing, or can the plan can be done without my eyesight, without my light. So he said that though God exact day labor is also a biblical reference, that you have to do labor. In our Hindu philosophy, we always say that karma, right? So if my karma, if my day labor can be done without using my eyesight, he is becoming some he becoming little impatient. I fondly ask. He said that I foolishly ask. Most of the time, when we are in total distress, we are in frustrated situation, we always say that, let me give up. Why God you are doing these things to me? Why you are not loving me? Why you hate me so much? We always discuss, or we always argue with God, right? In our mind, that why you are doing these things with me, why so much suffering in my life. So here also he said that if God had a plan, if God has a plan, so can it be done without my eyesight? I fondly ask, I foolishly ask. But patience, here patience is personified. Patience, the word patience is uh, personified, but patience to prevent that murmur. Here patience, I said that it is personified, so but patience to prevent that murmur soon replies. Who replies? Patience replies. Okay, God don't need, not need either man's works or his own gifts. So he said that God don't want your labor. So if you are thinking that I can do something for God, I can contribute something for God, I can do something for God, it is, you are doing, you are totally wrong, because this world is the owner of this world is God. So God don't need your work, your labor, right? God don't need your labor, your work to do something great for himself. So he's saying that God doth not need either man's work, man's labor, or his own gifts. Gifts here mean his ability, his talent, which God gives everyone. It is said that, it is always says that God gives, give everyone. Everybody has one single talent. Everybody has one single talent, right? So he said that which gifts God give you, God don't want something returned from you. God don't need something. God don't need some labor from you. God does not give you something to get it in return. Okay, so he said that God don't need either man's work, his own gifts in return. Whose best bear his mild yoke. Yoke mean the collar. Mild mean soft, you can say, not soft. So yoke mean something you have to bear, something everybody have to bear in his neck, something luggage size kind of thing. Okay, so whose best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. So you have to keep quiet, you cannot question him, you cannot give him a look of disbelief, you cannot give him a look of disbelief. If God, if you are a true believer, if you are a true believer, you have to act like a dog. Like if you have a pet, I have a pet, and if I did not give him food for 1 days or 2 days, third day he will bark me, he will bite me, he will bark over me. No, never. Because he know, because every dog is a serve, is have the quality, they never question or they never bite their master. So why you are now giving the you are now facing this belief, right? So he said that God give everyone some luggage to bear, some mild yoke, some mild luggage, some mild collar to wear, and you have to wear it, and you they serve him best. Who best bear his mild one, who bear these mild yoke, or who bear these sufferings so well, we believe to God, they serve him best. His state is kingly, he is the king of the world, so his state is kingly. He have everything in his hand, so he have everything, so you don't have to do anything for God. Which God give you, you have to bear. If he give you some talent, if you give you some gifts, you have to bear it, you have to use it. And if he give you some obstacles in your life, you also have to bear it, you also have to bear it with belief. Because he is now just taking your test, he is now examining you, right? So his state is kingly, thousands at binding speed, thousands of binding speed, and post over land and ocean without rest. So he is saying that, let me see the meaning of biding. Biding mean, one second. So he's saying that binding mean something command, order. Okay, so sorry, I forgot. So thousand at binding speed, so everybody is following his command, everybody is following his orders, and you are saying that God did something bad to you. So he's saying that thousand at his binding speed. If he command one, if you command something, everybody is in their speed to follow the command, and you have to follow the command. Thousand at his binding speed and post over land and ocean without rest. So they are posting over land and ocean without rest. They are all in race to do, to follow the god's command and order. They also serve who only stand and wait. So this is the most famous line, and this is used multiple times with multiple poets, many poets. Okay, they, this is the famous line. They also serve who only stand and wait. So please wait. If God gives you the obstacles in your life, God definitely will give you something to overcome. So it is only his willpower through which he wrote great epic like Paradise Lost, for which he is remembered now. Samsung Agonist, which for which writing he is remembered now, and he was writing in which condition, when he was in blind situation, and it is also said that he also gained his eyesight, maybe 30 or 40%. Okay, after some time, so he also gained his eyesight. So it is only his belief which gives him so much motivation, so much power to write this uh, epic, right? So he said that they only serve, they also serve who only stand and wait. Please wait. If God gives you obstacles, he will also give you the power to overcome. So now let's see. In this sonnet, Milton reflects on his blindness, feeling initially despondent about his inability to use his talents. However, he finds solace in the idea that serving God does not always mean active work. So, serving God is always not mean to active work. It also means patience and acceptance and surrender. You have to surrender to God, to the Almighty. So you have to surrender, you have to keep patience and acceptance. Keep you have to accept, can also fulfill his purpose. And it was, this sonnet was written in Milton's 1673 poems in his autograph notebook. So he wrote it in his autograph notebook, where he gave it the number 19. Okay, known as Trinity manuscript. Please wrote it down, because you have to write it in your explanation question. Trinity manuscript. The sonnet is in Petrarchan form. So Petrarchan form, you know, octave and sestet form. Octave mean 8 lines and sestet mean 6 line. In octave, the author, the writer, is facing some problems, and in last mean in sestet, they get the solution, right? So the rhyme scheme is A Abba Abba mean ABBA CDE, but adheres to the Miltonic conception of the form with a greater use of enjambment. So here he used lots of enjambment, and it is written in iambic pentameter. So here he wrote it in iambic pentameter. Okay, so let's see once. So when I consider my uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are octave. Okay, and then this is sestet. Okay, now see the figure of speech quickly. Light is a metaphor here. I had already told you that light is a metaphor of Milton's vision. Losing his light refers to the blindness. It also refers his ability to serve God, and he feels his purpose is diminished by this loss. Talent refers to both his literal talents as a writer and biblical allusion to the parable of the talents. Okay, in Matthew Bible version 25.14, symbolizing his fear of failing to use his God given abilities. So here is also a reference of Bible. So it is also both giving the meaning of as a writer and also biblical allusion. So this is the important line, and you can have the question from this line. So please note it down that there he give two reference. One is writer's talent and other is biblical allusion of parable of talents. Then patience here personified as a person. Okay, patience is described as a wise and calming presence that answers the inner turmoil. Allusion, there are reference, as I already said, that there are reference of one's gift, suggesting the responsibility to use one's gift. The phrase they also serve who only stand and wait, line 14, can also seen as an allusion to the idea of faithful service, reminiscent of those who serve God even through quiet endurance. Then rhetorical question, you know that rhetorical question, doth God exact labor light denied? So this is a question of total frustration and doubt, and the question helps to convey a sense of injustice and pondering if God expects him to work despite his blindness. Then symbolism, you know that symbolism in line 11 symbolize the burdens or duties one must bear in life. In Christian context, it presents submission to God's will, and Milton implies that God's yoke limitation can be a form of devotion. Paradox, they also serve who stand and wait. Express paradox, it suggests that one can serve God not only through action but also through patience and quiet endurance. And enjambment, you know there are lots of enjambment. Okay, in this line you know that, and the one of the talent, so this line is not ending but it ending in the second line. So that's all. I hope you like it, and I will make a Bengali version, you can watch it. Okay, thank you.